Yes, hello guys, Olariwaju here, and I'm also known as the Eminent Trader. Now, I've been seeing a lot of posts recently regarding trailing drawdown, equity-based drawdown, balance-based drawdown, and the likes. And I also noticed that a lot of newbies and traders do not even understand what they are getting into, especially when it comes to getting a Profem account, which is why I decided to draft out this document and also make it as a video and also as a thread so that you'll be able to understand what all these things entail. And let's get straight into it. So first things first, what is a trailing drawdown? A trailing drawdown is a moving threshold that adjusts based on your account's highest equity, keyword, highest equity or balance. So it sets a limit for how much you can lose from your highest point. And once your account reaches a new peak, the drawdown level moves up, but it never moves down. And what this simply means is that the higher you make profit, the higher your drawdown increases. And we'll get straight into that. So if your equity drops below that trailing drawdown, your account is disqualified, even if you are in profit. So that is why you will see some people complaining that they were in profit, but they breached their account. Then they gave them the remainder of the profit that they made, and they breached their account. Do you understand? But you'll be wondering that, but you're on profit. Why did you breach your account? And they are giving you part of your profit. It is because you're on a trailing drawdown and you breached that account. Do you understand? And this thing is very risky for new traders that do not understand, because every gain tightens your room for error. And you can be profitable overall, but still get disqualified or breached if a pullback exceeds the limit. And three, it also punishes traders for holding winners or trying to scale up. For example, now let's say you are risking 1% to make 5% on your account, and your trade gets to 4%, they now drop back to break even. There's a probability that you might breach your account in that kind of situation because it is using your highest equity, and your highest equity is that highest limit that your balance got to. Do you understand now? So let's get into the example. So they said no daily drawdown. Now, this video is not to badmouth any firm. It is just a source of knowledge and understanding how these things work so that every trader can know what they are getting into. So you know that, okay, this is what I'm getting into, and you understand what you're getting into before getting any account. So for example, they say trailing drawdown with 6%, and 6% of a $5,000 account is $300. So what this means is that if your starting balance is 5,000, your trailing drawdown level is 4,007. And what this means is that at any point in time, your balance or equity, keyword, your balance or equity means whether the trade is running or not. So your balance or equity at any point in time must not get to 4,700 if your balance is 5,000. And here is where it gets crazy. By the time you trade, let's say the next day or the next few days, you trade and you get to 5,100. By the time your highest equity gets to 5,100, your trailing drawdown increases to 4,794 because your room to lose is now 306. So 51 minus 306 gives you 4,794. Then let's say you keep trading and you get up to 5,2, which is 4%. Your trailing drawdown increases to 4,888, which means at any point in time from that 5,2 now, if you drop to 4,888, you have lost the account, even though the starting trailing drawdown was 4,7. So the more you make profits, the higher your trailing drawdown. So let's say you now make 5% on that $5,000 account and you get to 5,250. Your trailing drawdown increases to 4,935. So let's say you now decide to withdraw 5,000, you are left with just $65 to trade with. So it does not even make any sense to me. Do you understand now? Now you've made 250, but you cannot even withdraw the 250 because if you withdraw the 250, you are left with 5,000. But after that 5,000, your drawdown is now 4,935. Do you get? Hope you are getting where I'm going to. So let's say your balance now gets to 5,500, or your highest equity, let's say running trade, now gets to 5,500, or your balance gets to 5,500. Your trailing drawdown increases to 5,170. So what this means is that once you make 10% profit on your account, on a $5,000 account, your trailing drawdown is now 5,170, which means that once your balance or equity gets to 5,170, you have breached the account, even though you're on profit. So let's say when you're on 5,005 now, you now enter like 2 or 3 trades and you eventually lose like 320 or 330 or 340. By the time your balance gets to that 5,170, they will send you an email that you've breached the trailing drawdown rule. So you see the understanding now. Once you make more profits, it increases your drawdown. So as your account grows, your drawdown also grows with it, which tightens your drawdown limits, even if you're on profit. So 1 or 2 bad trade can take you out, even if you're in profit overall. So it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. So let me use a $10,000 example also. Same thing. You are starting with 10,000. Your trailing drawdown is 6%, which is $600. So that's 9,400. By the time you make profit up to 10,001, your drawdown increases to 9,494. By the time your balance or equity gets to 10,2, whether it is running or not, when it gets to 10,2, your drawdown increases to 9,588. So even if you withdraw this, your drawdown is still there at 9,588. It doesn't go down. Remember the overall rule here that I told you. It doesn't go down. It doesn't reduce. It keeps using your highest equity to calculate your 6% trailing drawdown. Whether you withdraw or not, it is based on your highest equity or highest balance. Do you understand now? So by the time you make 10.3, you make 300 and you're on 10.3, your overall drawdown already increases to 9,682. So if you withdraw the $300, you are left with 9,682 to play with, because my $10,000 minus this 9,682, now you're having like $318. That's like the overall drawdown that you now have logically. Then let's say your balance or equity now gets to 10.5. Your trailing drawdown increases to 9,870. So if you withdraw the 500 profit, if they reset it to 10,000, you would have 9,870 as your drawdown limit, which is literally like 1.3%. It does not make sense. Then let's say your overall balance now gets to 11,000. This is even like the worst. Let's say you now make $1,000 on your account and you want to withdraw. You cannot withdraw the $1,000. You cannot even withdraw 600, because the moment you place a withdrawal of 600, you are left with 10,400. That means you only have $60 to trade with. Because once you're on 10.4, you can only, your trading drawdown is now 10,340 regardless whether you withdraw or not. As long as your highest balance or equity got to 11,000, your trading drawdown is now fixed at 10,340. So you cannot even withdraw $600 out of your $1,000 profit. It does not make sense, because you'll eventually get breached. They'll send you a message that you've breached your account. So eventually you have to start withdrawing very little and start trading with caution and stuff like that. So it does not make sense. So it looks like it's a one-time kind of account to me, logically. It doesn't make sense. So important things to note: once you hit a new high, your drawdown adjusts and never goes back. Remember, it never goes back. So even if you keep losing, even if your drawdown is inside the profits, once it hits that trailing drawdown, you've reached your account. So it could be up overall, but you will still lose the account based on one or two single trades. And what it does to your psychology is that it forces you to close trades early. You won't be trading with confidence, because now you know that your drawdown will increase with your profits. So why even bother in the first place? So you'll be avoiding good setups because of fear of breaching the account. So it is not ideal for a newbie, but for a professional trader, they can still go for it based on the fact that they already understand. Based on the fact that they already understand the rule. Do you get? Then why it is bad for beginners? You are still developing emotional discipline and consistency as a beginner. So why go through that psychological pressure of trailing drawdown? Because it increases it. It puts you under pressure unnecessarily. Then it also leads to overtrading to avoid losing progress, because you now be trying to maintain the balance between your highest equity and the trailing drawdown and the profit that you want to withdraw. So it's just like slavery to me. And also it makes you close trades early. You will avoid good trades out of fear. It's normal. Then withdrawals and limitation during resets, because the trailing drawdown remains the same. So if you start with $10,000, by the time you make up to 11,000, let's say your highest equity gets to 11,000, your trailing drawdown already increased to 10,340. So you can't even withdraw much. You're already limited. They say there's no consistency rule, but this is even worse than consistency rule. Because even inside your profit, you can't even be confident enough to withdraw a substantial amount of your profit, because it is already affecting your trailing drawdown. And that one does not care whether you withdraw or you do not withdraw or you reset. Your trailing drawdown is fixed. It does not go down once it increases with your highest balance or highest equity. So which is why it is advisable to always go for a prop firm that gives you a static maximum drawdown or balance-based drawdown prop account, because this gives you more room to grow, more room to make mistakes, and also build consistency without constant pressure. So your overall maximum drawdown never changes. So if you are buying a balance-based account, let me show you an example. So let's say the overall drawdown is 10%. It is static, it is fixed. Whether you withdraw or you do not withdraw, whether you are losing, as long as you don't hit the maximum drawdown limit, no problem. So let me break this down too. So let's say the starting capital is 5,000 and the overall drawdown limit is 10%. It means that as long as your overall balance does not get to 4.5, you don't have problem. If you get to 5.2, 5.3 and you place withdrawal, they will set it back to 5,000. Your maximum drawdown at 4.5 is still there. Same applies to the $10,000 account. It is still there, even if you get to 10.2 or 10.3 or 10.5 and you withdraw your $500 and they reset it back to 10,000, your maximum drawdown is still 9,000. It does not change. So you have freedom to trade. So let's say you get a 20K account and the overall drawdown is 10%. That means unless your balance gets to 18,000, you will not breach the account. So if you make 1,000 on the 20K account and you withdraw your 1,000 and they reset it back to 20K, you don't have problem, because your overall drawdown does not change. It doesn't change at all. Same thing applies to the 30K, same thing applies to the 50K and the 100K. So if you buy an 100K account, that is why most traders enjoy that trade the balance-based drawdown, enjoy very well, because if you buy an 100K account and the drawdown limit is 10%, that means the drawdown limit is 90,000. So as long as your balance does not get to 90,000, you don't have any problem. You can get to 92, 94, 96, 98. As long as you take it back to profit and you withdraw and you reset, it's still the same. The overall drawdown of 90% does not change. So as you see, as your account grows, the drawdown does not change, even if you make 10% and withdraw. Because I realize that 10% is like the cap for most, for some of the firms nowadays. The profit cap is 10%. Some their own is 5, some their own is 6. But as long as it's balance based, you don't have any problem, because once you reset, your overall drawdown is still the same. Then in conclusion, a 6% trailing drawdown might look generous until you are up 10% and can't even afford to withdraw 5%. I already explained earlier, because it will cause a breach of your account in the long run. So trailing drawdown punishes natural fluctuation. For example, now let's say you are risking 1% for 5%, like I said earlier, and your highest equity gets to 4% and it comes back to break even. You can breach your account that way because the system registered that's your highest equity in the system. So while your trade is running, you'll now be wondering, what happened? But my trade was running in profit. I'm still currently in profit. Why did I breach the account? They'll now tell you that it's trailing drawdown, that your equity got to so amount, and that is why they had to close your trade and you've breached your account. Simple. So it is not advisable to go for a trailing drawdown account as a beginner or someone that isn't strong with trading and risk management very well. So it is advisable to choose the right challenge for your stage. And now that you understand the difference between trailing drawdown and balance-based drawdown, the choice is yours. I rest my case. I am not advertising for any profit. This is just for knowledge purposes. The choice is yours. But I believe the choice is very clear. The difference between a trailing drawdown account, equity-based drawdown accounts, and balance-based drawdown accounts is very, very clear now. Equity and trailing, there's no difference. They are like twin brothers. But always go for balance-based for your peace of mind. For your peace of mind, go for balance-based drawdown accounts. If you are getting a profit, do your research very, very well. You can ask me for advice. I will give you. I'll gladly recommend a profit for you, or a better plan that you can get, but the choice is still solely yours. If you feel you can go with it, no problem. But just make sure that you are understanding what you are getting into, so that you won't start complaining on social media that you are in profit, but they breach your account. This is the reason why they breach your account. It is clearly stated in their rules and regulations, so that if they decide that you breach your account, you breach it, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I believe that is very clear. I remain Olariwaju, aka the Eminent Trader. Kindly like, subscribe, and follow me for educational content like this. I'll try to do more of explanatory videos like this to explain common things, common rules and regulations surrounding the general trading markets, forex, crypto, stocks, profem, brokers, and the likes. I think I will try to do more of that and educate people. So ensure you are following me and you turn on your post notification. Thank you and God bless. So if you'd like to learn from me or want me to mentor you, I only have 4 variants of my one-on-one private mentorships, as you can see on the screen. If you have any inquiry, you can send me a DM via the Linktree link in the description, and you can also read more about each mentorship program via the Linktree link too. Thank you.
I only trade with TENTRADE. You should too. Check the description in this video for more info.
Here, these are some of the exclusive benefits you get from me when you sign up with TENTRADE through my link and get any of the instant live funded accounts or the express challenge accounts. Send me a DM for any inquiry. TENTRADE has the fastest withdrawal in the industry, and they've been around since 2017, and they have trader friendly rules, and they want their traders to succeed. They have the best customer service in the industry too, and they are giving a personal account manager once you sign up. A trial will convince you and you are in safe hands. Don't forget to click the Linktree link in the description for any inquiry.
Follow me for more educative contents like this.